What's going on, guys? Welcome to Boîte Noire Radio. Once again, I am your host, Alistair, and this is my favorite squirrel.
Beefy with the anxiety, your
All
favorite Kentucky's girlfriend.
right. So, first and foremost, let me just say how much we appreciate you here at Boîte Noire for just listening to us. So, that being said, you are the ish. Beefy. So, as we always do, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, but you forgot something, dude.
Tell me, what did I forget?
If you don't come here with an open mind, what can they
Oh,
do?
that's right. If you don't come here with an open mind, get the
What
F
can
out
they
of
do?
here.
Get the fuck out.
That's right.
Just
That's
get the
right.
fuck out of here.
Because we
We
talk
don't
about
want you.
anything
We
and
don't want you.
everything.
Get
Okay.
the
Okay, Beefy, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Beef Man had a little bit of a week, if I'm being honest. I mean, we talked on the live stream once before about like kind of my girlfriend troubles, and like we officially made the break. Like we're done.
So you
Yeah, so,
officially
like-
broke up.
Yeah, after 8 years, it's over.
Yeah.
You know, it's healthy though. It was good. It was good to like just sit down and get like we kind of both knew. You know, you get that point in a relationship where it's like, yeah, we knew this was happening.
Yeah. But you know, sometimes even though you know it's happening, it doesn't mitigate the sting, you know?
Yeah.
Something like
I had
that.
a couple of days there where I was like down and blue, but you know,
Mhm.
it's all good.
Yeah.
Working on being me, you know.
That's right. It's a new you. You gotta find yourself again. Do you know what I mean?
It's it. Brand new squirrel. Gonna get a shed.
Mhm.
Gonna shed my fur.
He said shed your fur. So I am doing not so great either. I came down with what it seems like a little cold. So, you know, Olympia is in a perpetual state of getting something from the daycare. She's always sick.
Oh, womp womp womp.
I know, well, I start complaining about it, but there's always something. And so she just passed that on to me. And, you know, of course, as a very involved parent, I don't have the luxury to sleep 10 hours a day. So no, I'm fighting sleep deprivation. I'm fighting work.
You guys got the trifecta. You just keep passing the sickness around to each other. You know,
exactly.
If two people, autobodies can build up. But with 3 people,
exactly.
There's an in between to give you guys time to, you know.
Exactly. It's so insane. Like the myth is correct, guys. Like daycare. Once you start, you're sick every day, all day, all day, every day.
I hate it. Big fan doesn't like being sick, I'll tell you, man. Messes up my whole thing. I mean, nobody likes getting sick. I'm just saying, like, I have to
be sick.
I'm so busy and I have so much going on that, like, when I do get sick, it like really puts it, and I end up like just struggling to get like the most menial tasks done. You know what I mean? Because it's like I live a very unregimented, just like taking things as they come to me kind of life. Very much flies in the face of kind of the way you operate. You know, where everything's, you know, at this time I'm going to do this and this and this. You know, with me, it's just kind of like I wake up and it's, you know, let's see where the day takes us. You know, and it's just kind of what you do, wandering around looking at butterflies. So when I do get sick, it's just like, I find myself just like sitting there trying to get the energy to pick myself up to do anything. Yeah, it's bad.
I'm so jealous. I wish I had that life again. No.
Yeah, it's definitely it takes you know, you have to work at it. You know what I mean? You gotta be dedicated to the Olympics. If that's, I know it's ironic, it doesn't make sense, but I prefer it that way. Laissez-faire.
Laissez-faire. Yeah, as you say it.
Is Olympia getting better?
Say that one more time.
Is Olympia getting better?
Yeah, she's getting better thanks to modern medicine. We had to go to the hospital 2 days ago, and because because her immunity was just not kicking this off, so she's starting getting secondary infections, and so the doctor just gave us antibiotics, and now she's doing better. I know.
Did she have to do another overnight in the hospital?
No, she did not. Thank God. However, I can't wait when she's 18 and tells me to shut my mouth. And I said, excuse me, young lady, do you know what I did to raise you up to here? You're going to go in your room, clean it. I want A's and clean the bathroom. That's right.
It's got to be. Yeah, you got to run a tight ship. Tight ship. But a loving ship. A loving, tight ship.
A loving, tight ship.
Beautiful family people that, yes, all of them. Everyone involved.
So, Beefy, you know, I always say that your way of presenting those nasty criminals is one of the most euphoric thing ever. And you're a squirrel. So you know what? We haven't finished.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Thank you so much for saying
that.
You're
so welcome. We haven't finished the Zodiac Killer, the lazy guy with the lazy logo. Beefy, take it away.
Okay. You remember where we left off?
Remind me.
I will. Luckily, I come prepared.
Okay.
So where we left off last week, Zodiac was on the Jim Dunbar show. You remember that he called in?
Oh, yes. I remember. He called that lawyer. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So basically, things in San Francisco at this point they've reached critical mass. Like we're very much in the viral moment of the 60s, even though that did not exist. If things were to have swept the nation by storm, the Zodiac killings and living in fear in the shadow of the Zodiac was very much going on during these times, during the summer of 1969.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, Zodiac, he's murdered 5 people. He's sending letters into the newspaper at, what amounts to basically be like a regular basis. After the Paul Stein murders, he's just sending these things in willy-nilly. And, we could spend all day going through them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. We'll kind of get some of the hits along the way as to what goes on. But, if you guys are interested in some of his writings, I've gone through all of them because I'm just like a cinephile like that, and I'm weird. And they are fascinating to kind of like pour yourself into the mind of a killer, just to like what was the thought process, like where does this all amount to?
You know what? Like getting into the mind of a killer it sounds very fascinating, but sometimes if you ever hear them talk, it's the mumbo jumbo of nonsense. It's not completely nonsensical. It's exhausting for a normal person.
So it's the funny thing you say that, because that's very much what's going on with Zodiac, right? Like he's really not even. There's really no plan. Like he's just bringing up. I mean, yes, there's like the threats and the blowing up the school bus or whatever. But at one point he's talking about how he likes going to the Exorcist movie and I want everybody to wear little shiny Zodiac buttons. It's like. God, it's almost like he just wants a friend. You know what I mean? It's like he just wants a pen pal out there. Like,
wants to
get
be
laid, dude. Like, that's kind of what I want to say to Zodiac. It's like, get a girlfrend. Like, stop being so mean.
You said
like
get laid.
r/nice guys. He was like the first r/nice guy. You know what that is? You ever on Reddit?
No, but I'm assuming it's incel.
That's the idea. Yeah, very much of that ilk. Guys that cry about how life's unfair and women never go for the nice guy, but then the second they get rejected, like, yeah, whatever, you fucking slut. Like, okay. Oh, shucks, I got a sense of that. We got to put in a beep.
You're going to have to beep that. Good job, Beefy, for giving yourself extra work.
But it's like, maybe you're not as nice as you actually think you are. Have you ever considered that?
Yeah.
Like maybe it's not that she doesn't want a nice guy. Yeah. She just doesn't want an asshole.
Yes. Have you ever thought that it's not them? It's oh look, Pizza is here. You didn't have to show up so gun-ho.
Oh, hi, Christopher.
Who that?
It's the talking squirrel friend.
Talking squirrel friend.
Hello.
You can see him. Thanks for the pizza, my love.
Look at that delivery to the office.
For my massage.
Sounds good. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Yes. So no. Grab yourself a slice, pulling.
Are you sure? Can I do that? All right. Look, viewers, I'm starving. And I'm hungry. So Beefy, you talk while I stuff my face.
It is about to get cinematic in here anyway. So yeah, just enjoy yourself, man. This is going to be a tale. So yes, we are very much living in the shadow of the Zodiac killer during this time. Things were sent into an all-out fever pitch with Zodiac called into that San Francisco early morning television with host Jim Dunbar and attorney Melvin Belli. Zodiac and Belli agree before the show goes off the air to meet and speak in person outside a shop on Mission Street in Daly City. And I will show you that shop. There it is. That's where they're going to go meet. They're going to say, hey, let's get together and eat some cards and play hopscotch. Me and the Zodiac.
Oh my God.
Me and my buddy Zodiac.
Wow, what a psycho.
Yeah, right? Like, let's just get together. Oh, yeah, let's hang out.
Wow.
So yeah, Zodiac obviously does not show up. Authorities were actually later able to confirm through phone line tracings and voice recognition from, you remember Brian Hartnell, the guy who survived the Victorious attacks? Yeah, they bring him in just to confirm if the voice is a match from the radio, and it's not. It comes back to just some crazy guy in like a mental institute. It really wasn't Zodiac. Yeah,
Wow.
it was so exciting, right?
I can totally see that happening in real life today. Like someone pretending to be the great murderer of all time. You know, kids and prank calls.
They would never open the lines up because there'd be too many people interested in just trolling them.
Right, like the trolls.
Yep.
Oh.
However, this event does become important because of Melvin Belli. The Zodiac would more or less not hire him, but he would reach out to Belli because of this interaction with the fake pseudo Zodiac on the Jim Dunbar show. He ends up sending him a letter. Oh yeah, here's Belli.
Wow. First of all, he's bold. Really? Okay.
In the letter he sends to Belli is another piece of Paul Stein's bloody shirt. So we know that it's real when he's mailing Belli, that he really wants to actually talk to this guy as his lawyer. I think he's just messing with him, but he definitely does actually mail him one. Do you know what I'm talking about with that? The bloody shirt?
Yeah, with the shirt, because he killed the guy, shot him in the back of the head.
Yeah, cut off a piece of his shirt.
Cut a piece of his shirt, and he keeps mailing pieces of his shirt to the police to say, "Hey, I'm the killer. I'm the one. Don't F with me. I'm the crazy guy."
Yeah,
wow.
The DNA, they can tie it back. The final section of Paul Stein's bloody T-shirt would be sent to San Francisco Chronicle reporter Paul Avery alongside a rather chilling Halloween card. Look at that. Is that weird or what? From your secret pal, I feel it in my bones. You ache to know my name, and so I'll clue you in. And then it's kind of like a weird little graph
Beefy
thing. Yeah.
Why'd you have to say it like that?
I tried
in
to
the bones. Why'd you have to say it like that? Like you gave me an ache by the way you said that. Like, my back. How dare you?
The skeleton looks like he's boning that pumpkin, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, the skeleton is super uncomfortable. The skeleton is like, ow.
He's got the little wink, from your secret pal. It's like the dick in the box sketch from SNL. You know that? What I'm talking about?
No.
My dick in the box. All right.
Oh yes. Yes. Oh my god.
Okay. Although there is a lot of speculation as to how many total victims Zodiac genuinely has, up until now, every victim we've talked about has been confirmed to the work of the Zodiac. So these are them. These are all of the ones we know were attacked. The 5 we talked about, those being the Christmas 1968 shooting of David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, the July 4th shooting of Darlene Ferrin, the Lake Berryessa stabbing of Cecilia Shepard, and the shooting of Paul Stein in the cab in San Francisco. Those are what are referred to as the canonical 5, right? We know these 5 were murdered by Zodiac. Let's move on to some victims that he gets into in some of these other mailings that could be Zodiac victims. We don't necessarily have a firm stance about whether or not it's for sure that they're victims, but there is, circumstantial evidence or otherwise to indicate that. So that's where we'll move on from here. But these are the ones we know for sure.
Again, I have to say, they look really good. Look at that style in the 60s. Look at that hair.
Doesn't the hair just look thicker, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, wait. Let's back up for a second, actually. Okay. So, on March 22nd, 1970 at approximately 11:15 p.m., new mother Kathleen Johns, this is her, age 22, and her infant daughter were driving along the 132 highway near Patterson, California, en route to visit a sick relative in Petaluma, California, when all of a sudden she's flagged down by a fellow driver. As the strange car honks its horns and flashes its brights, Kathleen pulls off to the side of the road. Once they're both pulled over to the side, a short-haired, stocky male, approximately 5'10" and around 30 years old, wearing horn-rimmed glasses and dark clothing, approached the driver's side window of her vehicle. He then informed Johns that one of her vehicles was wobbling. He offered to tighten it up, to which Kathleen agrees. He tightens up her lug nuts, gives her a friendly wave goodbye. My work here is done, Kathleen. Be on your merry way. Gets into his car and slowly peers off into the night. She was good to go. So she gets in her car, she drives away, gets about 500 feet, and her wheel falls off the rim. Woo! Who would have thunk? What a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
That's so weird, because he just fixed it, and it just broke. How strange.
Did she die?
We'll get there.
Oh my God.
You want to bury the cart before the horse?
What's her name?
Kathleen Johns.
Oh, Kathleen. Nice hair too, Kathleen.
What's Kathleen? Yeah, that is like the 60s Bob if I ever seen
Love
one.
it. Obsessed.
Okay, so the other man in the other vehicle would put the car in reverse, roll down his passenger side window and tell Kathleen, "Oh, it must have been worse than I thought. Hop in. I'll take you to a service station." Kathleen, with not really a lot of options at this point, rounds up her baby, opens up the passenger side door, and enters a strange man's vehicle, and both drive off into the night. According to Jones' testimony, the man drove her and her baby on desolate back roads near the town of Tracy, California for almost 2 hours, threatening to, quote, kill her and throw her baby out the window, passing several service stations and police outposts along the way. Kathleen would eventually work up the courage to tuck her baby close into her chest and roll out the passenger side door as the car was driving down the highway. She then hid her baby in the bushes and made her way into the brush off the side of the road, hidden from view from the strange man who was now searching for her with a flashlight and yelling for her name. This would go on for approximately 5 to 10 minutes before a Mack truck driver would pull up upon the scene, where Kathleen would flag him down and inform him that she had been abducted. It was at this point the male driver would speed away. Kathleen would walk down into the bushes to retrieve her infant baby and inform the driver she didn't want the man to kill her. The Mack truck driver took Kathleen to the nearest police outpost station, where, sitting down reviewing the accounts, she glanced upon the wall to notice a most wanted poster. Dun, dun, dun!
Oh my God. That's it. Biffy, you know what? Now I'm going to go online and look at all the wanted posters at the police stations. Yeah, you criminals, you're not going to get me. What?
It was at that moment Kathleen extended her finger and yelled, "That's him! That's the man that abducted me!" And yet this most wanted poster would be the police sketch drawing of the suspect leaving the crime scene from Washington Street and Sherry, as reported by Officer Zelms. Zelms. On July 4th, 1970, Zodiac would mail another letter to the San Francisco Chronicle claiming credit for the abduction. We'll take a little break here. What do you think so far?
God. First of all, let me just say that Kathleen, you're very brave to grab your baby and jump off the window like that.
Right? Oh, G style.
But girl, Kathleen was like, look, I'm going to die anyway, so I'll die on my own terms.
Tuck and roll, baby. You ever done a tuck and roll?
No, I'm not that brave.
It wasn't like anything bad or whatever. I think I was just like messing with my buddies. We're going to do a beer run, and I was like, how funny would it be if I just like, open the door and tuck and roll? And this is like, my younger days when I used to drink. And then they get to the store and they're like, "Where's Tim?" Because I was the only one that had money. I was always buying the beer. And so I get there all excited to get more beer, and I'm gone. Oh, I wish I could have seen the look on their faces. They realized they had to drive back. It's a hard thing to do. We were only going like 5 miles an hour, but they had to be going 60.
No, they were going absolutely 60.
Yeah. With the baby, too. How do you even? I guess if you want to roll sideways, you gotta really tuck that baby in close to make sure you don't get any road rash.
Yeah, but you know what? It's probably instinct because she probably kept the kid close to her center of gravity, so the kid probably was unharmed. Besides just having a little vertigo.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the baby was fine.
See, which is good. So it can't scream and cry. It's too confused to cry. Perfect. Be quiet. I have to hide.
Crazy story though.
This. I'm sorry, Biffy. I was gonna say like that Zodiac, the lazy Zodiac. I'm glad he's dead, but relentless. Like I'm telling you,
Why do you keep calling him the lazy Zodiac?
Well, lazy because his logo is absolutely lazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like circles.
Yeah.
Like all this effort to murder someone, but no effort for a logo.
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
it's minimalistic. I mean, you got to think about it. Like the Superman S is pretty simple. The Batman, that's just a bat. I mean, the Flash symbol, that's just yeah. And also, we'll get into where that symbol might come from because there is an explanation for what that actually means. Yeah, we'll get into that. Yep. You're so good. It's like you see where I'm going, and you're able to just like, boop, 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 pick that up. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. It's the African voodoo. Oh God, please don't be offended if you're offended.
Oh, shush. GTFO. That's what. If you're offended, you know, an open mind. GTFO.
That's right.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, this just could have been. I mean, I'm sure there were lots of people during the '60s that were all claiming they'd been abducted by Zodiac. You know, this could have just been another random abduction. You know what I mean? Like, what makes this incident special is this letter that we're about to read. This is the Zodiac speaking. I'm rather unhappy because people will not wear nice Zodiac buttons. So I now have a little list, starting with a woman and her baby that I gave a rather interesting ride to a couple of hours when, even a few months back, that ended in me burning their car where I found them.
Wait, so Kathleen didn't make it?
She did.
So wait, he said even a few months back that I ended up in burning her car where I found it. Oh, okay, the car. All right, I got lost there. So he's obviously talking about Kathleen, right?
Yeah. I didn't see that in the case file, but he probably did burn her car. I don't remember that.
So that means he went back to where the car got stuck Kathleen, and then burned it.
Yeah. I guess
Ooh, so. Kathleen's traumatized. Kathleen quit her job. Yeah. Kathleen left the state. Kathleen remarried. Kathleen was like, I'm out.
Yeah, she's done. So what do you think? Legit? Is he taking credit for something he didn't do after the fact? What do you think?
You know what? No, he's not taking. No, he did it because he is so prideful in his work that he wouldn't claim somebody else's work. Yeah, like he enjoys the pride into torturing and the effort that goes into hunting his prey, that he would not allow himself to take somebody else's kill, because he said it. Remember in last episode, he's like, everybody I kill will meet me in heaven and be my slave. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So for him, he really believes that. So he's like, no, I'm not going to waste my energy to claim somebody I didn't kill because Kathleen is not going to be my slave.
So here's my theory.
Yeah.
After the Stein murder,
yeah,
things quieted down for a while, and we started getting a lot of letters. Like when I say he's mailing in, it was like I think once a month or something like that.
Oh, really?
Like he's really communicative. I think the letters are the thing that he enjoys. He just wants the attention. It's almost
he
like
loves the attention.
The murders were a byproduct to get to where he could start writing it in newspapers, which is what he really wanted to do.
And you know, all psychopaths and sociopaths are extremely narcissistic. Yeah. So he got a kick out of just the attention. He loved it.
If you think about the actual logistics of that Stein murder, right? When he's walking away, the cop car drives right past him, and if not for the fact that they called in a black suspect, they would have had him. I think that spooked him. I think he realizes, holy shit, like that was really close. Like I almost got caught. And he can't work up the stones to go do any murders. So he sees this opportunity to, take advantage of a situation he had nothing to do with. Boom, boom, bing. You know what I mean? Everybody's talking about me again.
His need to gather people's attention.
Yeah, exactly. Brings the topic back into the zeitgeist. He gets to write more letters, take credit for something he didn't do. That's my theory.
Wow.
Okay, we'll go on to the next one.
Let's go.
Between the hours of 9 p.m. and midnight on the evening of October 30th, 1966, 17-year-old student Sherry Jo Bates. Look how beautiful. What a knockout.
My God.
Gorgeous.
What a DICK. You know that?
Yeah, really.
I bet he probably picked he had a type. He clearly had a type. Good-looking teenagers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, for most, full-blooded heterosexual males, that's everybody's type.
You're so stupid.
Pretty young women. most guys, just throw it out there, just say
You're
it.
such an idiot, but I love
young,
it.
Sexy women. I'm a fan.
You're so stupid.
Okay, anyways. Yeah, so on October 30th, 1966, 17-year-old student Sherry Jo Bates was at the library of the Riverside City College in Riverside, California, studying for an upcoming exam. When she finished, she entered her Volkswagen Beetle in the library parking lot. However, the car would not start. It was at this point Sherry began walking home. In an alleyway approximately 100 yards from the library, she would be beaten, stabbed multiple times with a short knife, and her throat would be cut. There would be no evidence of sexual molestation or robbery during the attack. Sherry would rip the watch band of a Timex watch, which stopped precisely at 12:24 a.m. from the attacker's wrist during the assault. The attacker also wore military-style heeled boots between the sizes of 8 and 10, the origin of which was eventually traced back to a military outpost, possibly in England. However, the boots could have also been sold via a nearby March Air Force base. On November 29th, 1967, 2 anonymous letters would be mailed to the Riverside Police Department and the Riverside Press Enterprise newspaper confessing to the crimes, including details only which the killer would know. Okay. So
my God.
Take a break here for a second. What is there anything about this attack that jumps out at you right on the face of it that's different from the rest?
It's the brutality of it.
Okay,
He didn't use the gun. He literally beat her up first, and then slit her throat.
It was like a struggle. It's like almost like somebody learning.
Yeah, almost like somebody learning. That's correct. That is correct. However, though, I have to say, young lady, what are you doing walking in the alleyway at night when there's a serial killer on the loose? What?
You missed it. You missed it, Alistair. I was hoping you'd get it. The date.
What's the date? Oh, Valentine's Day.
No, 1966. This is 3 years before all the other attacks. Oh, we were running true crime.
Oh!
1966.
Look at me being so silly. You are correct. Wow.
Look at the letter, too. Look at the letter. You see a difference? It's typed.
It's typed. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, Beefy. No, I think he is on another level. He's not even psychopath, sociopath. He must be like devil incarnate.
So why does the typing of the letter make you say that?
So, well, because he's still trying to keep a form of anonymousness.
Yeah, you got it right. Anonymity.
Anonymity. He's still trying to keep a form of that, but he is yearning and longing to expose himself, but he's still very shy about it. So he
doesn't want to go to jail.
He doesn't want to go to jail. But he really wants the world to know that this. Oh my God, this feels so good.
Yeah, dirty little secret.
He's a sadist.
Yeah. But this looks very much like a botched rookie who is figuring out what he's doing. And when we see the later attacks, the Christmas and the July, they're very similar to this, like almost in a scary way. Yeah. And then we get ourselves to Berryessa, the lake attacks, where he's putting on a whole fucking superhero suit and shit, riding on car doors.
Oh my God.
So we're seeing the escalation of violence, right? That they always talk about with killers, how it's like one more is never enough. It's like they need that stronger hit. Yeah.
They get a kick out of it. They love it. That's why they love it. That's why you have to leave after the first strike. Don't touch my hair. If you get your hair pulled, leave. Yeah, because it just will progress from that.
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's read this letter.
Okay.
She was young and beautiful, but now she is battered and dead. She is not the first and will not be the last. I lay awake at nights thinking about my next victim. Maybe she will be the beautiful blonde that babysits near the little store and walks down the dark alley each evening about 7, or maybe she will be the sheepy blue-eyed brunette that said no when I asked her for a date in high school. But maybe it will not be either. But I shall cut off her female parts and deposit them for the whole city to see. So it don't make it easy for me. Keep your sisters, daughters, and wives off the streets and alleys. Miss Bates was stupid. She went to the slaughter like a lamb. She did not put up a struggle. But I did. It was a ball. I first pulled the wire from the distributor. Then I waited for her in the library and followed her out. After 2 minutes, the battery must have been about dead by then. I then offered to help. She was very willing to talk with me. I told her that my car was down the street and that I would give her a lift home. When we were away from the library walking, I had said it was about that time. She asked me, about time for what? I said it was about time for her to die. I grabbed her around the neck, my hand over her mouth and my other hand with a small knife in her throat. She went willingly. Her breasts felt very warm and firm under my hands. But only one thing was on my mind, making her pay for the brush-offs that she had given me during the years prior. She had died hard. She squirms destructors. I choked her and her lips twitched. She went out of scream once and I kicked her in the head to shut her up. I plunged the knife in her and it broke. It didn't finish the job by cutting her throat. I am not sick. I am insane. But that will not stop the game. This letter shall be published for you all to read. It might just save that girl in the alley, but that's up to you. It will be on your conscience, not mine. Yes, I did make that call to you also. It was just a warning. Beware. I'm stalking your girls now.
Oh my God.
Horrifying, right?
That is absolutely chilling.
Confesses to sexual molestation after the fact, too.
That is absolutely chilling. You know, it's one of those things that, like, even if you don't have any girls, everybody has a mom.
Yeah.
Everybody has, you know, a friend that's a girl. You that letter affects everyone.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I almost spit out my coffee. Remember the little ghost that you clap on? You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about, Beefy. And you know what? What? Look, I wrote down here. Like, he is insane, but he's an insane person who's also an incel. Like, look, the girl didn't want him. Why would she want you, weirdo? Like, don't think about that.
Yeah, right. Hiding in the library, like, maybe I'll disconnect your distributor wire.
Hello, hi. On a day with
the only way you can get her to talk to her is by disconnecting your car. What a
yes.
How about this? How about this, bro? Hello, my name is X.
Right.
How are you?
How are you?
Holy shit! What a fucking revelation!
That's right. You know, stand up straight, smile, and like be nice. That gets girls. Not choking them to death. Jeez.
Confidence and kindness.
Yes, kindness.
Two very simple things that are free, people. Just saying.
Oh.
Anyway. Okay. Later in that same year, a poem would be found scratched in the underside of a desk at the Riverside College Library. It's the same library that Bates was at. Again, more incel stuff, right? Carving poems under desks. This is so sad. Little high school kid or something. This writing was eventually tied back to the Zodiac killer, his real handwriting analysis.
Yeah.
Additionally, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just multitasking. Mm-hmm.
3 other water singing announcement from Riverside on April 30th, 1967. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's just verifying that. I'll show the letter. Just verifying that these handwriting samples were matched back to the Zodiac because of the letters. So they're able to match this writing, even though it's chiseled into a desk, back to the letters talking about the attacks during Christmas and all that. Even though it's from 1966. So we have actual confirmed evidence that connects this to Zodiac. So
I'm telling you, there's some weirdo out there who would buy this, frame it, and put it in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely chilling.
Serial killer memorabilia sells for big money.
Really?
Yeah. It's a collectible hobby like anything else. There are people out there that buy Nazi memorabilia. I mean, there's all kinds of. You can collect anything, really.
People who collect like murderer trophies.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so glad. You never know who you hang out with. Sometimes I'm like, Beefy, you're not a murderer, are you? What? It's like, oh, look, the nice girl down the street. She turns into a vampire. It's like, oh my God.
My hand on her breast and the knife in it.
Right.
What the fuck, dude? Chill.
I know.
Such a nice boy. All right, I'll read this poem quick, and then we'll go on to the last one that might be Zodiac. Okay, cut, clean. If red, clean. Blood spurting, dripping, spilling, all over her new dress. Oh well, it was red anyway.
Damn.
Life drained into uncertain death. She won't die. This time, someone will find her. Just wait till next time. RH.
I hate the fact that he's rhyming. How dare you?
Yeah, this is bad too. This is bad poetry. This is like, even for like high school, college, this is bad poetry.
Oh my God, what a monster.
He thinks he's deep is the sad part. Like, there's symbolism in my murder. It's like, no, you murdered somebody, you disgusting person. Like, oh God.
You're right, he thinks he's deep. No, honey, we're all running away from you. This is not, you're not getting no Nobel Prize. Nope.
Show, honey, it ain't that deep. You're a loser.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, RH, what do you think that means? Because he's not going to sign his own initials, obviously, right?
Random human.
It's funny you say that, because my guess is basically the same thing. I think it means red herring. You know what that means?
No.
So red herring is a euphemism in the English language for like a throwaway, just to get people distracted. Just like you said, random human. It's almost like go look over here, go look at the wrong thing, go look at this red herring over here.
Like a distraction.
So I can, mix up the case and distract you. Yeah. That's what I think it means, red herring.
Hey, why don't we ask the listeners and the viewers, what do you guys think? What do you think RA stands for? So I said random human, which I'm probably wrong. Beefy's like red herring. That sounds about right. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, leave us in the comments.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we move on, do you think it's Zodiac?
I'm going to say yes. I don't think people were that freaking crazy like that and that bold to back then.
So we're 2 for 2. So you think he's got a body count of 7?
Yes.
So when he goes into he's murdered before when he goes into the
100%. And he's gotten very comfortable about it. Mm-hmm. Well, you don't think so?
Kathleen's account, the first one we heard, I take real issue with. There's really not a lot connecting that to Zodiac beyond the identification. And I think she might just be trying to insert herself. Kathleen, I mean, I don't know. She went through a trauma, so hard to say. And then, like I said, with Zodiac falling out of the zeitgeist, it was prime for him to take credit for that one. And we'll see in a moment. He'll jump all over this too, and it becomes like a theme. By the end, he's like claiming he has like 36 victims, and we just know that's not true. Like, sorry, man, you would, if you actually killed 36 people, you'd be mailing in like bloody T-shirts again. There'd be like a whole wardrobe we have by now, like a whole fashion line, like the spring line of Zodiac. Zodiac killing clothes.
Fashion line. Runway.
Clothes pieces.
But you know what? In a sick way, he accomplished what he set out to do. Look, 1,000 years later, we're still talking about him. A million years later, this movie's about him. And he's accomplished his goal. We would never know. He's a mystery. God damn it.
He's probably dead anyway.
Let's only rejoice. He died alone. Perfect. And clearly there was no slave for him over there in heaven. So perfect.
No slaves. Slaves were gone.
That's the happy medium. He was disappointed.
All right. Donna Lass was last seen September 6, 1978 at approximately 2 a.m. in Sahara Tahoe in South Lake Tahoe, California. Aged 25, she was working as a nurse at the time. Her last entry into the nurse's logbook was at 1:50 a.m., and although her car was still parked at her apartment complex nearby, she was not seen leaving after the Sahara the next day. An unknown male called her landlord, saying that she wouldn't be. Called her landlord and her employer, saying that she wouldn't be returning due to a family emergency. The call was proven to be a hoax, and there's never been any other trace of her last ever seen. Wow. To connect Donna to the Zodiac is loose at best. However, on a postcard mailed to reporter Paul Avery, it's the same guy that received the last piece of the shirt on March 22nd, 1971. So this is 1971. This is like a year later. What? Zodiac would implicate himself in the abduction and supposed murder of Donna Lass, and we'll see that postcard here. Yeah, peek through the pines. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, man. We're a year after the Paul Stein murder, and he's still mailing in. Like, we're over you, honey. You're last year. You're old news. We don't care anymore. Funny. He just wants like that last little, just a little bit more of the dopamine. Just like Instagram. You know what I mean? You put up that last post, like me. You know, numbers are coming down. It's like, oh, I just want to get that. I want to get back to where I was. I was getting the numbers before they stopped caring about me. Love me again. Love me.
You're so funny.
It's so funny. So true. It's so sad.
It's not sad. Look, first of all, the postcard. Ew. Second of all, look at that lazy sign over there at bottom right and top left. Come on, Zodiac. Put your penmanship into it.
Yeah. Be better.
Yeah.
Some zest, some flair. Be creative. Go for it, honey. Live your best life.
You're gonna put all this effort to hunt and kill people, but you look how lazy you are for the.
That's what you come up with. Come on, we can do it.
Yes, exactly. I want an animated card that goes boo. And I go
yeah. Should I have like the pumpkin with the hole in it?
Yes, I want the full experience.
Stick in the box pumpkin. Actually, the one that's top left, that's kind of what it looks like, isn't it? Like, you did it differently for that one. That one looks like the pumpkin. Oh, man, we have fun on this show. All right, we're going to get into suspects now. Are you ready?
Let's bring it.
Okay.
Wait, stop. Beefy, you're going to shut up. Wait, I dropped my pen. Oh, my God. Let me tell you, you know, when you said let's go to the suspect, you know what went through my mind in my head? I was like, you know, when I said go, I said bring on the white man. And then look at that. Oh my God. That's what I was like, oh my God, they're all really white.
Actually, yeah.
They're all white men.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. They all look mean too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, we knew he was white though. There were victims.
No, I know.
I get what you're saying. No.
I was just being
Yeah. Spearheaded by detectives Dave Toschi and partner Bill Armstrong. Oh, by the way, Dave Toschi, the inspector who actually investigated all this and was like the lead investigator for the Zodiac attacks. He was the inspiration for Dirty Harry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he even wears like the backwards holster in Dirty Harry, just like Toshi used to wear, and like the fancy bow tie, the bow ties and the suits. I thought I had a picture in here of Toshi, but everyone knows who he looks like. Anybody like even lightly familiar knows Dave. He was played by Mark Ruffalo in the Zodiac movie.
Speaking of the prosecutor, he must be so upset he never caught him. But anyway, continue.
Oh yeah, that's another rabbit hole. We don't need to go down there. He ends up sending letters in to get him to talk, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Toshi. He died recently, actually. Rest in peace. He gave his life to trying to catch this guy and never got the answer he was looking for. It's heartbreaking, yeah.
Yeah, because this is all traumatic for everybody involved.
Yeah. Great cop, though, and he did a great job. This was his. This guy was his prime suspect, Arthur Lee Allen.
Mm-hmm.
He looks. I mean, just at first glance, I'm not really seeing the connection to the sketch photo. Like right out the, we got balding. There's no glasses. We didn't hear anything really about facial hair.
Okay.
I mean, somebody can change their appearance. You know what I mean? Like maybe.
No. You know, no, all of these white men over there I see on the board does not even match the little sketch at all.
So all the pictures on the bottom are him. They're Arthur Lee Allen. They're not different people.
Oh. Well then, clearly, I guess he has a lot of facade. Oh, look, it's a
yeah. He's a really scary guy, really gross. He's actually a sex offender. We won't get into that, but yeah.
Guys, do you see my ignorance? I didn't know who that was. I thought that was just a random white person from the precinct. No, this is a criminal? Oh, God. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
So Dave Toschi and Bill Armstrong worked the Zodiac case for a number of decades and would still remain unsolved to this day, building several very strong circumstantial cases for various suspects, but none of them were ever confirmed via handwriting or DNA. Thus, indictments were never served. Toschi would spearhead the investigation into Arthur Lee Allen, widely considered to be the prime suspect in the Zodiac murders. Arthur Lee Allen has been primarily accused by Robert Graysmith, who he is like the number one Zodiac writer. He wrote the book for which the David Fincher movie is based. Posthumously in that movie, they more or less, the narrative of the film is that Arthur Lee Allen did it. Like, they very much write the movie with that in mind, like the phone calls stop when he dies, and we'll get into some of this stuff, but a lot of it is circumstantial. There are some facts that are pretty bad looking. Arthur Lee Allen was living in Riverside, California in 1966 when Bates was murdered. He also had the same typewriter, the Royal model, which was used to type the letters in that attack. So that's the letter we just looked at. According to Arthur Lee Allen's brother, Ron Arthur, he was given a Zodiac watch as a Christmas gift from their mother in 1967. The logo for said watch would be the exact same crosshair symbol we see used in the letters.
Oh.
So Zodiac and then just a little symbol.
That's the connection.
So that's where it came from, supposedly.
Oh.
Arthur Lee Allen's best friend, Don Sheeny, has written several police statements to the following facts. He would like to kill couples at random. He would talk to police with letters detailing his crimes. He would sign the letters with the cross circle from his watch. He would call himself Zodiac. It just comes out and says, yeah, he just said he'd be Zodiac. He would wear makeup to change his... Keep in mind, this is somebody saying, this person told me, so it's... well, no, it's not hearsay, but it's...
I know it's not hearsay.
There. We're right there. But even so, somebody told me this stuff, like that's the evidence we're at now. I could find anybody paying $5 who's like, hey, just tell him this guy told you this. Like, come on now. Yes, it's damning, like him saying, 2 years from now, I'm just going to become the Zodiac killer. I know you know what that means now, but 2 years from now, that'll be great.
Wow.
So dumb.
It's so dumb.
I mean, what do you think so far? You think it's even close?
I don't. You know what? I don't think it's close. No, it's definitely not him. But what I will say though, what I would say is that I think all the criminals at that time must have been very jealous. All the real, that just getting all the fame.
Well, they say that California in like the late 60s to the early 70s, like when Vietnam was winding down, was like a boiling pot for murders. Like if you look up how much murder was happening in America during that time period, it is chilling how much murder was going on. It seems like it was pretty easy to get away with it. And based on some of the facts of this case, Zodiac's like he slid by the skin of his teeth on some of this shit.
Really?
I mean,
why, though? Is it because of the weather?
Maybe like horoscopes.
Not like it's nice weather outside, so people are outside, and clearly all these narcissistic criminals get a little upset. All the girls with the short skirts are like, "Leave me alone! Don't talk to me." So they get really mad. Is that what it is?
It could be.
Jeez, murderer.
So all the statements by Don Sheeny, him saying he's going to be Zodiac. There's a few more here. He'd wear makeup to change his appearance. He'd put a flashlight. He'd attach a flashlight to the top of his barrel, like was done in the Christmas shootings. He'd follow women, stopping in their cars for tow areas, just like Kathleen Johns. Blah 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 blah. That would be good enough for Toschi and Armstrong to get a search warrant, which they would execute upon his trailer, during which they extracted several knives, the same length and blade diameter as the Lake Berryessa attacks. Several dark pieces of clothing and several handwriting samples were extracted. However, none of these pieces of evidence were able to link him to the crimes. Wow. According to statements by police and family members prior to the publication of Zodiac's codes, Allen was in possession of codes featuring the identical symbols. Additionally, Allen was known to use the same unusual spelling and phrases as Zodiac was in certain letters, including Mary X Mass with 2 S's instead of Ari Mex X Miss, and saying trigger mech instead of trigger mechanism.
Oh.
This is the part that kind of chills me out and like really makes me stick my eyebrow up at this guy. Arthur Lee Allen was sighted on September 27th, 1969 in the Lake Berryessa area of Napa County Lake. That's the same day and time that the Lake Berryessa attacks occurred. So he's there that day.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah, according to him, he was snorkel diving at Treasure Island, and he later be spotted the same day with bloody knives in his car, which he would claim were used to, quote, kill a chicken.
Oh my God, Beefy! But you're saying that like my mind is changing. I guess he is a Zodiac. No, he's not.
Arthur's boot size is also 10.5, which is consistent with the boot prints we saw walking away from the crime scene at the Lake Berryessa attacks. There's tons of circumstantial evidence, but the timeline fits like almost to a T.
Yeah, it's too perfect. Too good to be true.
There's times where he's in jail and the letters stop. And then he gets out and the letters pick up again. I mean,
really?
He's in Riverside in 1966. He's in Vallejo in 1969. He's, again, in Napa County at Lake Berryessa on September 27, 1969. He has an aunt that lives in the Presidio Heights district of San Francisco at the same time Paul Stein was shooting. So, in other words, his aunt lived very close to where the cab shooting occurred. So he could have just walked to his aunt's house. And finally, Mike Mageau, the guy he's the only one that ever saw him, the guy who got shot in the face, our first victim.
Mm-hmm.
He picked Arthur Lee Allen out of a phono lineup, claiming that's the man who shot me. So we have positive ID too.
What the hell? So you're gonna come up with some? Okay, so to me, I guess that's him, but you're gonna come up with something that tells me it's not.
I mean, they never handed out indictments. Handwriting was never a match. DNA was never a match. They never made an arrest.
DNA was never a match.
It's all circumstantial.
Yeah, then it's scripted. Oh, wow. Then, Arthur Lee Allen, you're very unlucky. Wrong place, wrong time. If you wanted, they should make him a meme, about being wrong place, wrong time.
I just happened to be driving down the road, at the same lake with bloody knives in my car.
Exactly.
What a coincidence. Who'd have thunk?
Oh, the letter stop when I go to jail.
I killed a chicken.
Yes. Oh, Arthur Lee Allen. But you're a criminal, so you deserve every bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's a sex offender. He's been in and out of jail his whole life. He's a nasty guy.
Oh, yeah, very nasty. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's prime suspect number 1. A lot of back and forth about whether or not he did it or not. There's actually a really good documentary out there. His name was Arthur Lee Allen. It's actually by David Fincher, the gentleman who directed the Zodiac movie. It goes hand in hand with another documentary called This is the Zodiac Speaking that they put together for the film.
Uh-huh.
The Zodiac documentary is amazing. It has all the initial responding officers, some of the victims. Like it's incredible, the production quality. So if any of this stuff fascinates you guys and you are looking to dive into this a little more, I recommend both those documentaries. They're very good, very good. They're free on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and we love free.
Yep. Just finish this episode first, then go watch.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. Suspect number 2, Lawrence Kane. Kane has a lengthy criminal rap sheet dating back to the 1940s. Pam Huckabee, sister of Zodiac victim Darlene Ferrin. Remember the girl we said in the beginning that it all comes back to her?
It was a man that her sister was afraid of. Is that him?
Yeah, and she knows him. Oh, so yes. I guess Pam Huckabee claims Lawrence Kane was following Darlene in the month before her murder. Additionally, Lee's possible Zodiac for the victim, Kathleen Johns, identified Kane as her abductor in 1969 during the peak of the Zodiac activity. He was 45 years old, though, so the age is a little off. But still, she says that's the guy. Kathleen Johns does.
Wow.
He stands at 5'9", approximately 160 pounds, so that's consistent. He had massive... What's that?
That's pretty consistent.
Yeah. He had massive brain damage in 1960 from an auto accident. Kane was originally diagnosed by a psychologist in 1965 as losing the ability to control self-gratification and damage to the frontal lobe in his brain.
Oh my God, that's a lunatic. That's a certified lunatic.
Yeah, have you ever heard about the frontal lobe damage thing and how that relates to being a serial killer? How it's very much in control of like impulse control and empathy.
Yeah, absolutely. You get damage in the frontal lobe, you won't even recognize yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So oh my God! I can't even.
Kane was arrested in Redwood, California in August of 1968. 4 months before the Zodiac San Francisco Bay Area murders. Okay, yeah, so he just gotten out of jail basically before everything starts.
Wow.
Yep. He's another good one. He's another good one. Like we said in the beginning, if you can trace back who was following Darlene, we know for a fact that Darlene knew her killer because she said, "Oh, that's just him." Right.
Oh my God.
And but him knowing Darlene isn't a death sentence either. You know what I mean? It was for her. It wasn't for her. Oh, jeez, that was mean.
Good thing you and I are not judge, jury, executioner, because people will be dead. I'd be like, yes, looks guilty. Off. Yeah, looks guilty.
Yeah, honestly, like when I dove through this the first time and watched the movie, like if I was on that jury, I probably would have convicted Arthur Lee Allen.
Yep,
but now that I've gone through and poured through it as extensive as I have, and I've seen all the facts, I couldn't. There's just not enough there.
I would have been like, look at his eyebrows. Yeah, he did it. Guilty. Like,
that clip is going to live on the internet forever. You're never getting on a jury ever.
Never. You know, I always get kicked out. I never get accepted because they probably
show that clip. Disqualified.
Get rid of the black guy. Yeah, okay.
All right. Oh no.
Oh, come on.
But probably.
Yeah, every time. For some reason, I get okay. You can go. Oh, I can.
Yeah. What a coincidence. Yeah.
Go continue.
There are several other possible Zodiac suspects, including Rick Marshall, who worked at the library of Riverside College in 1966, Richard Gaikowski, who had ties to a newspaper printing that ran works of fiction that would serve as a near blueprint for the Zodiac attacks, and despite not knowing him, was reported to have attended Paul Stein's funeral. There's tons of these. I could go through them all. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I understand.
Edwards, he confessed to it. People think Charles Manson might have did it at one point. Earl Van Best Jr. thinks his dad did it. Some people even think the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, was Zodiac.
Really?
And there's memes out there of Ted Cruz being this thing just goes. It's such a rabbit hole.
Cruz.
Yeah, it's a joke. He was
okay.
A toddler. It's not possible.
Like, oh, honey.
Yeah, that's a meme. Yeah, he's so unlikable. The joke being that even if the Zodiac killer is more likable than Ted Cruz. Is the joke. Yeah.
Not wrong.
That's a yikes. Yikes.
Yeah, yikes.
That's pretty much it, man. We're done. Zodiac's wrapped up. Finito.
It's finito. I know one person who's definitely not the Zodiac killer, and that's Jeffrey Dahmer, because he was a homo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Facts. So, what do you think overall? We got the whole case now. It's all behind us. Any wrap up thoughts to this whole thing?
Yes.
Quite the tale.
I have one, and I knew of the Zodiac killer. I didn't know it like that in detail. So as a foreigner, Americans definitely felt his presence a lot more, especially Californians. But you learn about murderers a little bit at school and stuff like that. And I've always wondered with a Zodiac killer. I've always wondered why Zodiac. Like, why Zodiac, right? I was like, why that name? Why that name? But it had to do with this stupid, lazy logo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hearing you going through this story, another question popped into my head is, do you think if at a crucial moment in the Zodiac's exploration of his desires to murder, do you think if someone was a little nicer, giving a little tighter hug, I'm not saying sleep with him, but someone was like make him feel seen? Because if you go back to, I know it wasn't him, but I don't know. Do you think it would have changed his path?
I do. This very much speaks to somebody who is very alone and is like grasping out for human connectivity and importance in the most radical ways. Like, this is somebody who does not feel, he yearns for approval. He yearns for worth and value, and he yearns for connection and romance. You know, a girlfriend probably could have saved 5 people's lives, is how sad this is. And honestly, and like, you laugh, but like, look at Daryl Brooks. You know what I mean? Like, that happened because of his girlfriend. Like, it's funny how much like one relationship or like, you know, just the breakup or non-breakup of 2 people can affect so many lives because people just can't handle their own S.
Yeah. Own S. Own H. No, you're right. You're right. And that's why they say in the investment circles, they say who you marry is your most important decision in your life, because if you marry the wrong person, then you'll be broke. That's what they say. And
I married wrong. Luckily, I didn't go broke, but it was bad.
But it really goes to show you again about how like who you pair up with and who you don't pair up with really affect the trajectory of your life. And how tragic. This is where my interest in other people comes in, because I'm like, how's the mom? How's the dad? Mommy, where are you? Dad, where are you? Brothers, sisters, where are the friends? Like, this is a question I want to ask, because I'm sure support. I'm sure, you know, no matter how much of a crazy lunatic he might have been, you know, there's always that one person who's a little nice. You know, like, where's that person? Do you know what I mean? Not the whole. Most of the world is actually
could have been like, you know, an old lady he lived with every day that was just mean to him. You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
Old lady, who knows?
Like we said in the other episode, most of the time, like when we actually find out who it is, it's like the normal people. Like, everybody said that about Golden State Killer, the East Area rapist, and he had like a family and wives. Yeah. He was like a totally normal guy. That's more often than not the case, unfortunately, with this stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody who's just a dick, unfortunately. We could speculate until the cows come home. I've gone through this case with a fine-tooth comb several times. This is probably my 5th time through it, like just pouring through everything, reading everything, websites, whatever. I think he ditched his stuff a long time ago, and he committed himself that he was never going to tell anybody, and we will probably never know. Yeah. That being said, apparently there are DNA samples out there, and ancestral genealogy just continues to get better. So one day we may know, and I think it's probably going to be similar to Golden State, where it's just it was Ben in Rhode Island. I know Ben. Ben's a good dude. Wait, what? It was Ben?
That's so funny. Yeah, it's Steven down the street, the one that sells bonbons.
Yeah. Just like throw a dart at somebody at the grocery store. Him. That's probably more in line with what is probably actually happening here. As weird as that sounds, it's the overall statistic.
So, Beefy, I have something to show you that I found on the internet, and it is absolutely bonkers. I sent you the video. I have an opinion about it. Why don't you listen to this? In Colombia, there is a culture for men to have sex with a donkey. You heard me right. Men have sex with a donkey. Play.
Okay, I'm going to 1:30, right?
Right, from 1:30 to 3 minutes.
I'm from London. I'm a freelance journalist here. I've been living here for 5 years. And I'm married to a Colombian. Colombian men think they're the best lovers in the world because they've never had anyone to tell them otherwise. People used to talk and they used to say, oh, the Costeños are, you know, all they do is party, they drink, and the joke was they fuck donkeys. No one actually said I've done it, but they all said, oh no, my friends have done it, and it's quite common that, you know, you live on a farm, you'll see people with their own special donkey, and yes, it's something that you do, so totally cultural, and it's normal. It's just a different way of seeing sex.
That's one way.
It's just a different way of looking at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Bueno, no es un mito, es una realidad. La mayoría de los hombres de la zona norte de Colombia usualmente tienen su primera relación sexual con una burra.
Los hombres primero prefieren experimentar en burra.
Yeah. For those who are listening on Spotify, the section that's talk in Spanish it's pretty much a local saying that it's not a myth, it's true that men in Colombia prefer having sex with donkeys rather than women.
Experiment with donkeys.
Experiment, right? They prefer experimenting with donkeys. And
there is a crucial difference therein, I might add.
That is very true. But if you notice, the reporter said that if you go to the villages, everybody have a special donkey. They walk around with their special donkey. So I'm sure
their waifu and their donkey wife.
Yeah, I'm sure the donkey they have sex with gets extra food, extra sleep, doesn't work as hard. Of course.
Goodness.
It's kind of crazy, right? Go ahead and press continue.
What is going on over there?
No sé qué placer encontrarán en ello, pero bueno, esa es su decisión, ¿no?
A los 14 años tuve yo la primera relación con una burra. Claro, en el desarrollo. Los médicos le recomendaban burra.
The doctors used to recommend it.
La burra ayuda a partir los puntos.
The donkey helps stretch your dick.
Yeah.
Y lo ayuda a desarrollar. Normalmente, todos los domingos nos íbamos para la ciénaga y
every Sunday.
Sundays we went into the hills to have
Sundays when they went to the hills to have sex with the donkeys. Okay. You can go ahead and press stop. So
that was a clip.
That was quite a clip, isn't it? So for those who are listening who are not able to watch it, the Spanish version of the second part was one of the local women was like, "Look, it's the boys, it's their choice, boys are boys." And then one of the local men, who was, I would say, merely 40s, upper 40s, pretty much admitted that when he was 14 years old, that's what he did every Sunday. Every Sunday, he would go and have sex with his donkey. Yeah,
and boys do it. I can think of nothing better. You know?
Nothing better. Actually, the guy even said, exactly. Go to the barn, say hi to your special donkey. And the guy even said that his doctor recommended it because it helps stretch your penis.
Yeah.
What? What? But Beefy, my question to you from this clip, when I saw this, of course, my first reaction was like, what the hell? Ew. But we have to understand that it's cultural, right? Cultural. I'm from Africa originally, and the stuff we eat there is not something you normally would eat. So, do you think? Do you think? What a question not to ask you, right? What the hell is that, BC? Culture or not? What the hell is that? Like, at some point, we have to culturally evolve, right? Hello. Let's not talk about the diseases that are transmissible, right? Donkeys and okay. And
wait a minute, whoa, hold on, because you're talking about two very different things. I'm pretty sure sexual transmitted diseases are not transferable between species.
So you might not have.
Now hold on, I know about this, and I don't know how I know about this, but STDs are non-transferable between chimpanzees and monkeys. You know what that means?
That means it's
no condoms, bro.
No, okay, obviously no condoms.
Okay, that's a Chris Hardwick joke. I just stole that. That's how I know that.
I don't think they use condoms. Are you crazy? I don't think they use condoms at all. I think they go absolutely dead raw. Look, if they use the donkey to be laissez-faire, they are going in there and having a good old time exploring. My thing is, and the anatomy of a donkey, their hole is very, very big. So the donkey probably doesn't feel anything at all. But I'm talking about diseases because where else are they going to put it? They're going to put it in the butt of the donkey. And have you heard of a yeast infection?
Oh, jeez.
Yes, men get that too. Exactly. Exactly. So it's like, sir, I don't know. That doesn't look sanitary enough. Do you know what I'm saying? I was completely baffled by that. And I'm not saying the whole country does it, but it seems like it's cultural.
I have to stop you. I have a very important question to ask you.
Of course.
What rabbit hole were you on that led you to such a clip?
You know,
and for second part, do we want to know the answer to this question?
Yes, I was not watching porn. Although I'll be honest, I watch porn. Get out of here. What person doesn't watch porn? But listen, it's not even about that. So are you talking about my algorithm online? It's full of filthy stuff. It's not. My algorithm online is full of.
No, I mean I'm genuinely curious how you get from A to B.
Pop into my feed. You know, I watch a lot of documentaries. You know, I on my spare time, I don't watch anymore like like TV that makes my brain dead. You know, I try to learn and I try to educate myself. People interest me. People's point of view interest me. So when I get the free time, I look up people's point of views and different cultures, and that pop into my feed. So on my algorithm, it's a lot of culture stuff, travel stuff. It's a lot of science stuff. It's a lot of debate, conversation. It's a lot of talking, and so that came up into my feed, and I was like, and the header was like, man, Cuban donkey sex, and I was like, what? So I clicked on it. I was like, what is this?
Little
this
antenna went up. Said what now?
Right now.
You know? What?
The video was the Vice News. I know Vice News. By the way, speaking of Vice News, a person I went to school with. When I came to the US, I went to Lycée Français de New York, and one of the executive.
Can we get that one more time? Can you say that one more time?
Lycée Français de New York.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I went to school with the executive producer of Vice News, and so it's so funny when I was like, oh my God, hi. Yeah, everybody there has got very nice jobs. But you know, when Vice News popped, because he's a friend of mine, you know, I support my friends. So I was like, no, I'm gonna watch. So I clicked there and I watched, and I was like, this video was not meant to be insulting. It was kind of like, what? Like what? Yeah. It was just it's a conversation starter. Do you know what I'm saying?
Definitely a strange one.
It's a very, very strange one. Now, Beefy, what do you think about the guy saying that it helps stretch the penis?
Bullshit. And I mean that in the most timely sense possible.
No pun intended? Yeah. Donkey shit?
I mean, you think about the actual logistics of it. The donkey's anus is going to be way bigger than
any penis you can think of, okay? Yeah, that donkey is taking a nap while you're having a good old time over there.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe the donkey's got like the muscle strength that it can like pull. This is getting gross. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Oh, come on, come on. Whatever. We all poop. We all fart. We all piss.
Yeah, fair.
We all have sex.
I don't fuck donkeys.
I don't have sex with donkeys either. Although I have to tell you a funny little story. Throughout my young adult life, I came across plenty of people, and one person I came across with, he said, I'm not going to tell you more about the person because I don't want to be canceled, but he said that the reason why he does not like sex because sex is messy and sex is smelly and sex is dirty. I said duh, what do you expect?
Yeah, really,
sex is sweaty, messy, filthy, but you don't care about that because it's maybe afterwards you might care about it, but in the moment, who cares? And I was like, really, sir, really? So what do you do, like celibacy? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh God,
really? Oh wow.
I'm like, I'm glad I'm your friend because it wouldn't work. What? No, you have to get down. You got to get down a little bit. What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know what you're saying. Like in the throes of passion, I could care less.
Yeah,
like
who cares?
Afterwards, there have been times where it's kind of like.
Well, yeah. Afterwards, that's when you get up. You get up, you clean up, and you have a good vibe with the person that you made love with. So you don't think about it, and then ta-da! Next day, next event. Who cares, right? Until the next throwdown. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What a crazy thing on the internet.
Yeah, you definitely found a wild one this week. Holy cow! Holy donkey!
Yeah. Oh, poor donkeys. I bet you.
Poor donkeys, indeed. Look, those poor donkeys. What country are they in?
Colombia. I guarantee you, PETA and NAACP. NAACP. No, I mean the AC. What's the animal organization? ACAA. HPCA.
In the arms of the angel. Just a picture of a donkey with like an O face.
Right. I
bet
you they're doing cartwheels right now.
Anus.
Okay. PETA is having a rage right now. Like, what the hell is this? I'm gonna go there and save the donkeys. PETA, have a seat, please. Sit down, calm down. It's probably
Sit down, be humble.
Yeah. So next thing that I want to talk about is we're going to go to the realm of politics very quickly. I hope you like these segments. Beefy is very, 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 very easy. It has to do with the war in Ukraine and Russia. Listen, how much do you know about that, Beefy?
Very little. And I try to put the effort forth to understand exactly why a war is breaking out, and it is so complex, and there is so much history and context as to exactly why they're fighting. It's not something you can just get a very tertiary understanding of. You have to very much be in the zeitgeist of what's going on between these two countries. But from what I understand, Russia just pretty much wants Ukraine.
Yeah, Russia just wants Ukraine for whatever reason, and Russia is a terrorist state. Why do I say that? Because Russia is killing civilians. Russia is killing women and children. The big news, at least to me, is that Ukraine decided to fight back. But not only fight back, but Ukraine assaulted the territory of Belgorod, which is the territory of Russia. And the Russians have the audacity to be like, hey, what the hell are you doing? What are you attacking me? But this whole saga, this whole fight speaks to the bigger picture of life, which is what? 3 things. Number 1 is nobody really cares about your problem other than you, right? Why do I say that? At the beginning, Ukraine was like, help me, help me, help me. Germany sends 5,000 helmets. Nobody wanted to lift a finger. Nobody wanted to go to war. They were like, okay, Ukraine, sorry, you figured it out. It's after when Ukraine was able to withstand the Russian force politically and in terms of PR, people had to stand by Ukraine for simple principle. But nonetheless, at the beginning, they didn't quite care. The second life lesson, I believe, from this whole saga is that your best may not be enough. I say that all the time. I say sometimes you could study all day, you could be the perfect person, and you could still end up with a 0. Because what you think
you'll end up dead.
Oh, you could end up dead, right? And so what you might think is your best, somebody else doesn't give a crap, right? And how does that relate to the situation? Is that, Russia has given its best. They failed. That's such a great life lesson. And the third point is always stand your ground. Never give up. Never give up. Because you know what? What's the alternative? If you're in a position where you have to face your problem and fight, you fight. Because the alternative is your death. Yeah. You could beat that too. Do you know what I mean? And so I like when I saw Ukraine, or at least the header, attacking the territory of Russia, I was just screaming in pure joy because that's what it's about. That's what it's about, right? You do not, like, if you get to the point, you fight back. You always fight back until you have no fight to give.
Yeah, because up until recently, it's been kind of one-sided. I mean, again, I don't really follow this.
Yeah. Ukraine has been more on the defensive. They've been getting territories back. They've been doing an amazing job, but they never really went and threw a punch to the face. They've always shielded. No, someone crosses your line, you take your 2 feet, you face them down in their eyes, and you fight back. I don't care if they're big. I don't care if they're smart. I don't care if they have more money than you. You fight back because the alternative is your deletion. And I don't know about you. I'm not ready to be deleted.
Yeah. Anyway. We all need something worth fighting for, right? Across this line, you shall not cross. Cross, my friend.
Exactly. Anyway, I just thought, when I saw that, I was filled with emotions of.
I'm glad they're fighting too.
Vigor. I was like, yeah, fight, Slava Ukraine, yeah. I mean, I was in my living room.
You can raise you in this.
I was high in adrenaline. I was pumped. I was like, yeah. This is Sparta. I was being such a hetero. It was ridiculous.
Christopher and Olympia are staring at the Chris thinks
I'm completely. Chris was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm trying to explain. Like, oh well, and then he's so not interested. He's like, oh, "Okay, great, but why are you screaming?" And I was like, "Because it's great."
They're fighting for themselves. It's good.
Yeah, it's inspiring. It's so inspiring,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Hope they kick their butts.
I hope
the Russian butt.
Sorry about that. Okay, why don't we go to let's talk really quickly? Let's chat a little bit, and then we can call it quits for the
wrap it up. Wrap it up. What do you want to chat about, friend?
So first, how's the weather?
It's all right. It's like summertime's coming in. How about you?
So the weather has been super great, super sunny. The pollen has been out of control. So I've this is day one of not being on the allergy medication. And I'm reactive, but not as bad. Like, it's like, okay, I think I can finally enjoy outside. Yeah. So really stoked about that because I like to be outside by myself.
Yeah.
with people I like. I'm an introvert, but I like to be outside.
See, I'm the opposite. I like my little whole air conditioning on a sweater. You gotta think, I work from home, right? And then I do YouTube on the side after that, which is like another full-time job on top of my full-time job.
Yeah.
So, beyond taking my dogs out for walks, I really don't get out that much. I get my groceries delivered.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Beefy, you really don't go out that much.
No, I try to take the dogs out at least a couple times a day, go for a nice little walk.
Of course.
Just to get outside, get some sunshine, break up the day a little bit. But it's just in life right now where I'm at, my passions and what I want to pursue, it's all online. I don't know. Just kind of the way life worked out.
That's the way it is. To go back, you mentioned that YouTube feels like a job. Doesn't it feel like a job?
Yeah, I've been riding the highs of, luckily right before we recorded, I had a video that started to do well, but man, I was riding those lows real bad. Like this past weekend, dude, I had some real intense waves of depression. I'm very much like you where like I find validation in myself from external sources. And it's like been a kind of a problem my whole life, and
I don't feel that. I only feel that towards specific people. But
I thought you had said you talked to your therapist about your failings and successes in YouTube before. I thought you.
Oh right, so no, that's different because the difference here is that so I seek validation with from my friends, and so because I care about how my friends feel and I care about how my friends are. So with the YouTube community, my brain perceives them as my friend, and so there's a big problem there because the community is multiple people inside a box, as opposed to my friend is a single individual, and so it's easier to manage a relationship with one person than to manage a relationship with a monolith. With a group, and that's what I had to be taught to separate my channel into individual pieces, because if I treat them as a whole, then my coping mechanism with one-on-one will not work when you're dealing with a group, right? Because everybody has different perception, right? So that's what I was trying to say. But no, I agree with you that when you are in my circle, your opinion and everything about you matters to me 100%.
Mm-hmm. And I can definitely attest to that firsthand. Just the past couple months getting to know you. It's like the first thing you say when we start, how are you? How are things? It's so it's really beautiful, and I'm really about our friendship. It's cool. It's very
if you do quality. Well, I do well, right? If you're not happy, then it affects. So I believe in the ripple effect in the network. So if Beefy becomes billionaire tomorrow. I'm beginning a vacation once a year, of course. So
true.
Yeah, so it's
hopefully that shoe extends to the other foot as well, Alistair.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yeah. How I am and how my principles are is how I live my life. And I can't be anything else. So as I told you like this, that's how I am right now in this moment. And
thank God people like us don't have money, because we give it to everybody we care about. We don't buy anything for ourselves. Just like, here, take it all. Oh, that would be a big problem for me. Because people start showing up out of the blue. Oh, I haven't seen you in 12 years. How could you use 10 grand? They say everybody has a $10,000 problem.
Oh yeah.
If you think about it.
A great analogy, because that is so true. Everybody has 10,000 problems.
$10,000 problem.
You off, by the way, I didn't mean to cut you off and stop your thought.
No.
Sorry with the snivels.
Oh yeah, no, you're good, man. It sucks being sick. That's the worst.
Yeah, it's the worst to be not well. It's one of the things that's like
I've been under the weather too. I'll tell you, it's been a slog just getting through the day some of these days. Depression, man. It'll crush you.
Yeah, it will. Do you want to talk about that, Beefy, or do you want to save it for maybe another time? Where you
there really isn't much to talk about.
Sure, let's
people
save
get
it.
Depressed. It happens, man.
It's a cycle of life. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you do when you get depressed? What's your go-to?
My go-to when I get depressed?
Yeah.
Isolation.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, but like, so what's your isolation look like?
No, my isolation is quite different. I depending on the severity of how low I am, I need complete silence. I need complete quiet. I need no stimulation, because what I do is in that time is, you can call it meditate. I don't even watch TV when I'm by myself. I just organize my thought and I talk myself out of it. Because if I don't do that, I could stay in that depressive state for a very long time. Because, Beefy, I have a daughter, and I cannot be low for too long, because I need to perform for my right. So I allow myself to feel my emotions, because I'm human. I'm allowed to have anger, fear, sadness, and depression. So I go into a ebb. I go into a slow. Sorry. I go into an ebb, and then I disappear, maybe in this office here, and I organize my emotional thought, and I clean house. So I'm what is making me upset and depressed? This, delete it. I completely out. If it's a person, that person is ghosted. If it's a situation, that situation is canceled. If it's a contract, that contract is terminated.
Well, I mean, that's not always a luxury we have, though. I mean, like in my situation, it's what's making me depressed is a situation I can't necessarily just walk away from.
Beefy, I agree. And that is also another reason why, and I'm teaching this to my niece, who's a girl. And long story, but I tell her it's so important. Your first objective, please don't judge me, but the first objective is to put yourself in a position where you could say no, because life is so ruthless, and many times you have to walk away for your sanity. And that, like, not for nothing, it's not about making a lot of money. It's not about making all this. No, the main priority is to put yourself in a position when you could say no, and you walk away. Because that will give you such level of mental clarity. And I know it's not everybody can do that. I know, but I think it's because people are not taught that your first priority is not go to the club. It's not get a new car. It's not, oh my God, I got a raise, get a new car. No, your first priority is to secure yourself to the point where you could say, I don't want that. No, get out.
I'll tell you, man, that's actually, that's really insightful. That's like been a big struggle for me, is putting myself into positions where I feel comfortable saying no. I tend to internalize everything, and confrontation for me is like kryptonite. I just don't handle it well. I just go into kind of panic mode and start insta apologizing. But I had to do that recently with somebody in my life that I was very, very close to my entire life. Mm-hmm. And it was fucking hard. But I'll say, man, your advice is spot on. Like, ever since I've been able to just cut off like a dying limb, you know what I mean? It was like, whew, a little load off my mind.
A load off your mind. Yeah.
But that was the problem, is I was too committed to what was going on, what I was doing, to really just say no. You're ready to wrap up. All right, cool.
No. Oh, no. I'm listening. No, I'm listening. That's how I active listen. So you may not see it, but I take notes when you talk.
Oh.
That
was all.
So I go like this. No, it's not because I'm not doodling. I'm making little notes here because I'm taking mental anchor. I'm listening to what you're saying, and in case I want to reply to you, I need to know.
I'm realizing I'm nodding, but I'm not on camera. So yes, I'm agreeing with you.
You know what I mean?
It's all good. But yeah, I'm gonna start practicing those words in my life more. About just like, hey, don't go into anything if you're not prepared to leave.
Yes. And also remember that you could be the best thing ever, and it might not work. Someone might not like you. It's just it's the nature of life as well. So just because something doesn't work, it doesn't mean it's the end. actually most things don't work. But it's not failure. It's just the nature of it. So it doesn't work. Analyze, move on, right? So it's I tell you who taught me this. You know who taught me this? My mom taught me this. And, you know, I say a lot of times, like my mother was not in a position to really give me the love that I, as a grown up now, realized that I really needed. But the one thing she really taught me is to make sure I don't end up, or make me and my siblings don't end up in a situation like she did with my father. And one of the things that she said is that even before we were little goobers, always be able to walk away, always be able to say no. Nobody can pressure you to anything. Nobody can force you to do anything. You will always have your freedom. And she said that every time, like, you know, can you say no? Can you say no? It's
like the rule when I go to my parents' house. I always take my own car, so I have an escape plan.
There you go. You have an escape plan. Always have an escape plan.
I was talking to a friend about this past week. Have your car with you all the time so you can bounce. I always do that. Oh, we should ride together. No, we shouldn't.
No, we shouldn't.
Let's take separate cars.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and if we go together, I'll take my Uber home. Yeah, I'm not tethered to nobody. I'm out. Bye.
Oh, thank God for Uber. I'm living off Uber right now.
Thank God for Uber. Why didn't we think of that?
I don't know. Beautiful invention.
Beautiful invention. We missed out.
Well, this has been tons of fun as usual, Alistair.
Yeah. Tons of fun. So let's go into the outro real quick. Let me just acknowledge the viewer.
I don't think. Oh,
sorry. No. If you want to keep the talk some more, absolutely go. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Let me just acknowledge the viewers. You guys, you understand that without your viewership, there's no Boîte Noire Radio, right? So understand that your viewership is awesome.
Wait. Homework assignment. We have a homework assignment for everybody watching this.
Go ahead.
Share Boîte Noire Radio with one person. Don't care who it is. Show it to one person and say, hey, check out this podcast. If you like it, we really need the help. It hasn't been taken off like we hoped. But I'm confident in what we're putting out. I think we make a good show. I think the true crime stuff is awesome. The banter is really good. I think it's going to take off, and we just need to get it out there. So
it's going to work out. And you know why it's going to work out? I'll tell you a reason why it's going to work out. One of the reasons why is because it's fun, and the second reason why is because you're talented, Beefy.
You too. And you know what? I think that both of us enjoy doing this, and the energy that we put into this is palpable from the screen. People can tell that we're both having fun when we're doing this, which is contagious. So I think it's going to work too.
Yeah. As the more we do, the better we'll get. So for everybody who stick around with the wave, the big Boîte Noire rave, you guys are going to be not disappointed. It's really awesome.
Yeah. And all you little Boîte Noireans out there who are sharing with your friends get to say, like, I was there. I was one of the first subscribers.
Right. And to people who listen to us on Spotify, thank you for your ears. Thank you for your earlobes.
Alistair, coming close.
Yes.
Nobody's listening on Spotify.
Oh, really? All right. But you know what? Listen. He's so funny. Listen, they will listen at some point. One day we'll be on the phone with them. Listen. Mm-hmm.
It could be like 2025 from now, and they could be going through the backlog of Boîte Noire Radio and be like, "Oh, that's so cute." They had no listeners when they first started.
Yeah.
Everybody did. Hey, I had 0 subscribers on YouTube when I first started.
Yeah, and
guess what? Alistair did too.
Thanks to Daryl Brooks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daryl.
I think I'm climbing out, man. I'm telling you, I got a video today that went pretty well. I think I'm climbing out. Let's see. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh my God, Daryl Brooks is so exausing.
Yeah, I've had enough.
I can't anymore.
Over it, honey.
Yes. And the reason why is because I feel like there's not much more to talk about. He's a horrible human being. He's gonna rot in jail.
Oh wait, I got one more thing I want to talk to you about. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
No.
Okay.
Don't be sorry.
So my best friend in the entire planet, this man was best man at my wedding. He sent me a text message this week. It was like more or less just trashing one of my new videos. I'm like, whatever, my videos are memes. I don't care about that. That's fine. Like, whatever. I don't take them that seriously. But it was the last comment that really like hurt me. He said, from him, yeah. He said, I don't understand what's with this Daryl Brooks obsession. It comes across as racist. And I was like, my fucking jaw hit the floor. Like I couldn't believe that. Like my best friend was saying this to me. but another that, like, this is an actual sentence that a human is speaking to me.
Wow.
I don't know. I guess from somebody who, from an outside perspective, I suppose it could have come across that way. But what makes it hurt so much is I've spent lots and lots of time with this person. I know him very well. He knows me inside and out, and he knows that's not who I am. So the insinuation on his face, it fucking hurt. Like, I had to just
tell you that in face to face or through
writing?
No,
it was through text. Honestly, I started to reply, and I really wasn't in a good headspace for it. I was like, had the depression thing going on. Wow.
Very smart. You might not realize it. You don't respond to that. Very smart.
I just told him I was going to take a step back and catch up with him later, because I don't want to say something that I regretted, and I probably would have.
Yes, you would have. Very smart. Never reply when you're not in the right mental state, because it can always come back and bite you. Very smart. Usually I wait a week when I'm hit with something that's so emotional like that. I don't even acknowledge it until a week later. Very smart, Beefy. That's what you do. Yes. And you know what? To your friend, listen, people change over time, and he may have forgotten who you were, or he may have never really watched your Derek Brooks video to see how you disconstruct him based on his behavior. He might not know who Derek Brooks is, so he just assumes you're talking poop about a black guy without understanding the nature of this black guy. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's actually pretty sound feedback. It's probably actually what's going on, because even the way he worded it,
he probably never watched it, so he just looked at the surface. Didn't want to spend the time to he wasn't really that into it, and he just made an assumption, which, to be very fair, it's not fair to you, because if he was one of your friends, he would at least support you about even pressing play and having a grosso modo idea about it, right?
Yeah.
And but no, it's not cool that he jumped on you on that, being racist. It's let me rebuttal that with another question. Did it make you feel? Did you freeze? Did it make you feel less than? Did it make you feel dirty when he said that? I don't know how else to explain that, but did you feel?
It made me feel like hurt is really the only way to say it, because this guy he's my best friend. So I never thought those words would come from his mouth. It's really what it came down to. It was like a betrayal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Do you think that, is it worthy of a conversation between the two of you?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get there.
When you cool off, go ahead and have a conversation and iron out the details so you can move forward. Don't write him off yet. It's not always.
We've been friends for like decades. I mean, I'm still gonna have in my life, obviously, and we've had little spits, and everybody does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take it too seriously.
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes some spits can be too severe, right? So I always have a conversation first before you decide to cut someone that you know very closely off, because it could be a misunderstanding. Maybe he was drinking. Maybe he was joking. Everybody makes mistakes, right? Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
But make sure you tell him how you felt. That's not okay. I don't think you're racist. I'm black.
So is he.
Oh. Let me tell you something, Beefy. Look, let's keep talking about this. When me and Chris were in our dating years, we are an interracial couple, and we got a lot of heat. I got a lot of heat from dating a white man. And I remember, because I like black music. I like that stuff. And so we were partying at a gay black club. Yes, I don't know why they label it like that, but that's how it was labeled. And I got a lot of heat. You might say, looks, no, people came up to me and say, why are you with a white man? Why are you dating out of your race? You have so much self-hate. You don't love yourself. This is the remnants of slavery. This is colonizer. And Chris was right there next to me. And I remember, and he was really uncomfortable about it. And I was like, you know what? Let's go. And I never went back again. That was the last time. Actually, it was the last straw when we stopped going out to the clubs, because we would get that all the time.
Yeah, it's got to be exhausting.
Oh, it was very exhausting, and I was like, nah, I don't need to go to the club. I'm happy just one-on-one with you. Let's go to restaurants. Let's be grown-ups. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm no stranger to people calling you out of your name, like your friend did. It's not pretty. It's not nice. It hurts and it sucks.
Yeah. It hurts more when it comes from people that, like, I respect him as not just a friend, but like an equal, you know, like a fellow creator almost, if that makes sense. Like so I don't know.
It makes total sense. No, I agree 100%.
Get over it.
You will get over it. This too shall pass, my friend. Yes.
Yeah, time heals all things.
Okay.
All right, man.
So you are now staying to talk a little bit more. But for the viewers and the listeners, goodbye. Like, subscribe if you're listening. I don't know. Do they have a subscribe button over there on Spotify?
I believe they do.
Okay, then subscribe there too. Perfect. And then we'll see you next week.
We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Wave, Alistair.
Oh, bye. Wait. Bye.
End transmission.
Thank you for watching.
You know,
I'm doing it too.
Oh, but you get to hide behind that stupid squirrel. Listen to me.